Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Age is just a number for these three Cowboys players. Recently, a group of writers from NFL.com were asked to name the league's top 30 players over the age of 30. Three Cowboys made the list in what could possibly be their final year with the team. One of three guards on the list with the Chiefs' Joe Thuney, number 25, and the Browns' Joel Bitonio, number 26, the 33-year-old Martin barely makes the list ahead of Lions defensive tackle DJ Reader. That seems awfully low. With 9 Pro Bowl appearances and 7 All-Pro nominations, Martin tops our list of the 10 greatest Cowboys of the past decade. Entering his 11th season with the Cowboys, Martin may not be the player he once was, but NFL.com's Ali Bunpuri remains impressed. I desperately wanted to get Mike Hilton and Justin Tucker on the list, at least in one of these final 2 spots. But as much as I love Hilton's game and Tucker's bravado, Martin's exemplary career and snap-to-snap importance made for too strong an argument. Martin is currently tied with Hall of Famers Bob Lilly and Randy White for the most All-Pro nominations in franchise history. Although he's under contract through 2025, the old guard has hinted that next season will be his last. While the days of double sacks may be history for Lawrence, the 32-year-old lineman remains one of the league's best at stopping the run. As NFL.com's Gennaro Phillips points out, Lawrence received the second highest grade in run defense from Pro Football Focus last year, while Micah Parsons racks up sacks at a rate that generates Lawrence Taylor comps. The 11th-year veteran nicknamed Tank, keeps setting a hard edge on the strong side. He's just a beast in the trenches and an absolute force against the ground game. Lawrence ranks 12th in franchise history with 58.5 sacks, second in tackles for loss, 93, and second in quarterback hits, 121. He also remains unsigned beyond 2024. With a potential $10 million in salary cap savings and second-round pick Marshawn Kneeland waiting in the wings, don't be surprised if the team moves Lawrence before the regular season. Prescott will be 31 years old at the start of the regular season, which is more like 62 in Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback years. Already the third leading passer in franchise history, Prescott needs 3,483 yards to overtake Troy Aikman, 32,942, for second place next season. Unfortunately, his team couldn't overtake the Packers, losing 48-32 in last year's NFC wildcard game, something for which Prescott receives too much criticism according to Bunpuri, because of the disastrous way Dallas' season ended, which was hardly on Dak's shoulders alone. It's easy to forget that the Cowboys' QB1 finished the year ranked among the league's best in most traditional and advanced passing metrics. Prescott led the NFL with 36 touchdowns in 2023, finishing with a career-best 105.9 quarterback rating. He's also due to become a free agent in 2025, which should make for an interesting 2024 season. NFL's Trent Brown wrangles D linemen and cattle for a living. Trent Brown has never played for the Dallas Cowboys, but he knows a thing or two about tending cattle. The Cincinnati Bengals hired the rancher this offseason to protect franchise quarterback Joe Burrow. But when the NFL veteran isn't focused on passing schemes or slide protections, you can probably find him on his ranch back in Bastrop, east of Austin, Texas. At that 3-stable property, he's building a livestock enterprise, one he expects will generate revenue long after his playing days are over. "I plan on this being my life after football," he said in an interview. "Completely hands-on, full cowboy every day." The Bengals' right tackle recently went viral after a social media video surfaced of the 6'8", 380-pounder riding horseback at a nearby arena in Texas where he often buys his horses. To most of the sports world, it was a funny clip of an oversized man on a steed, but for Brown it was just another day as a ranch owner and operator. "I grew up around livestock and agriculture," said Brown, a military brat who rode his first horse as a toddler. I was always fond of it and knew when I had the opportunity that I would have my own ranch. It's something that I can pass down to my kids, and they can pass down to their kids. Brown, who was born in Bastrop but grew up in Albany, Georgia, originally bought his ranch in 2021 as a passion project but later realized the earning potential of his operation, which has been renamed the Brown Ranch. The Pro Bowl lineman, who also owns real estate in South Dallas, believes he can become a major player at the intersection of cattle and agriculture in Texas. He already owns more than 90 head of Brangus cattle and nearly 24 performance horses. His 2 hired farmhands do most of the horse upkeep and management year-round, especially when Brown is busy with his NFL blocking responsibilities. Brown has ambitions of owning multiple ranches and is using this one as a proof of concept as he looks to fill out diverse revenue streams, including horse boarding and agritourism. In the meantime, he's focused on growing his herd of bulls as he perfects his desired bloodline and builds out his meat production channel, potentially selling cattle to butchers and others who want high quality and top marbling grades. Brown has made more than $65 million in his 9-year career but understands the pitfalls many pro athletes make in relying on their cash to maintain their millionaire lifestyles after they hang up their jersey. He wants his ranching business to become entirely self-sustainable and help him ride into retirement. As he ponders expansion and creates a profitable business model for his ranch, the Super Bowl champion can't help but try his hand at competition. Blockbuster proposed trade sees Cowboys swap CeeDee Lamb for rivals star WR. The Dallas Cowboys would certainly make waves if they made this blockbuster trade scenario come to fruition. Katie Drummond of Cowboys Wire proposed a 1-for-1 swap involving Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb and San Francisco 49ers wideout Brandon Aiyuk. Both receivers face strikingly similar situations entering the 2024 season, with both 2020 draft picks threatening to hold out during training camp until they receive new deals. The only difference being is that Lamb has not demanded a trade, whereas Aiyuk has demanded one. Drummond explains why the Cowboys would benefit from such a deal, citing the amount of money they would save on a potential Aiyuk deal compared to a Lamb one. On the Cowboys' side of things, perhaps they are not interested in having a $35 million a year receiver during a transition period, says Drummond of Lamb's potential deal. Not only would they save $25 million over the course of a 5-year deal, Aiyuk also would require less guaranteed money teams have to put into escrow whenever they sign a contract for a player. While both are considered star receivers, Lamb is considered the better, and is obviously the more productive of the two players. The 3-time Pro Bowl receiver just led the league in receptions, 136, and produced 1,749 receiving yards to go along with 12 touchdowns. It would be no surprise at all to see Lamb match, if not surpass Justin Jefferson's recent record-setting deal with the Minnesota Vikings, which will see him earn an average annual value of $35 million. On the other hand, Aiyuk is less productive and his projected market value is less than Lamb's. Spotrac projects Aiyuk's value to be $26.2 million across 4 years for a total of $104.6 million. While that new deal would make Aiyuk the 7th highest paid receiver in the league, it is also substantially less than what Lamb is projected to earn. Based on Spotrac's market value, Lamb is projected to earn $34.0 million per year across 4 years for a total of over $136 million. The difference in contract values would save the Cowboys roughly $8 million per year, which would obviously help them in looming contract extensions that they need to get done with the likes of Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. While the idea of a potential trade makes sense for both sides considering the disgruntled nature of both Lamb and Aiyuk, Drummond mentions why this is an unlikely trade scenario. However, there's also the idea that each team would be watching the WR they've nurtured since Rooks potentially helping a huge rival win a Lombardi trophy, writes Drummond. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Aiyuk? Leave your opinion in the comments.